What's up, guys? How are we going today? We are back with some FC24 guys, and here I'm gonna show you lot the best team I've probably built on FIFA. Funny enough, Bayern Leverkusen, yet to this day, I think they're unbeaten on the season, so they're having a really good season. But I went a whole season pretty much unbeaten with them, and I just want to give you lot an insight into the team I pretty much had. As you can see, there's a lot of quality players I've used here, and the team is honestly perfection team. Honestly, I have Adeyemi, he's honestly like someone you can play on the right, you can play him on the left as well, you can play him up front as well, even as a cam if you really want to. He has so many good attributes in terms of mental and physical comparisons. When you look at him and you look at his stats, that for me is someone that can play anywhere in that attacking line pretty much. So I never actually initially had him up front. I actually had Isaac and then I had Schick who I started with as well. But Isaac was someone that I actually bought. And then there was one game I was playing against I think it would have been Real Madrid, 1-0 down in the first leg. And I brought on Adeyemi to change the dynamics of the game. And then from then on, I just pretty much played him up front. And honestly, he's absolutely one of the best players I've used in this game ever. Arguably, probably top five players I've used. I'll put Martinelli up there as well. And then you have Wirtz, who already is part of the team anyway. He's a really good player. It's just he gets kind of unhappy if he doesn't play much matches, which he was playing a lot, but like his stamina, as much as it says 85 there, stamina is not the best. Like in that position, especially if you're pressing, it requires a lot of running, a lot of pressing. And there was games where I needed to rest him because he didn't recover well, and then he kind of got unhappy with that. But as long as you play him loads, then honestly, probably one of the best cams. I'll personally say I prefer Odegaard in FIFA, but preference really, he's still a good. You have Simmons as well, who's probably also a good cam to use as well. Grimaldo, initially he plays as a left wing, and I think Leverkusen are playing him higher up this season as well. The best way to describe him, and I'm not saying he's exactly like him, but when you use him, just think of him as Messi, pretty much. If you can, when you look at the stats as well, just think of him as Messi. Just use him as you would use Messi. I'm not saying he's as good as Messi, neither am I comparing him to Messi, but like I'm just trying to say, if you've used Messi before for Barcelona on FIFA, just think of it as using Messi pretty much. Like try to use him the way you would use Messi, where he's not the tallest player, but like he's when it comes to, balance, speed, pace, the fact that he can intercept is a bonus because he tracks back as well. Look at his stamina as well, his agility, his crossing. If you look at those stats, like I think Messi would have similar stats, probably just better. He's a world-class player, probably arguably the best player to ever play. I say Ronaldo, but different conversation for another day. But yeah, just use him as Messi pretty much. He's absolutely a charm of a player. Game changer, can play left wing, can play right wing, can play cam. If you really want to, can play as a wing back as well. But I play him as a right wing, and he's absolutely perfect. This guy Wimmer was a hidden gem that I got from Wolfsburg. Um, he's actually one of those players where don't let the rating deceive you and think he's not a good player or he's not up there, because I have a lot of high rated players here, and he's someone where like I don't know how to explain him, but he's like his level matches the team. So to say if you put him in like a team full of 90 players, he'll play like he's a 90 kind of player. He's one of those players where he will play just as good as worse. He's on the same page. You'll find at times when I was doing this career mode, I had players that I would play in, and I once I raised the level of certain players, other players couldn't keep up, which is a good thing in the game. When you have good players around you, you're not on the same level. You're obviously not going to play as good. So with him, I've had him pretty much since the start of this career mode. This has been a 2 year career mode. So good. Zubimendi is someone I also bought. Not the best of central midfielders. There's definitely better central midfielders you can use, but in terms of if you're a possession-based team and you like to keep the ball, then he's definitely perfect for that. But if you're a team that likes to counter and press, then I definitely wouldn't have him in the midfield just because of his pace. And in terms of tracking back, he can definitely be lackluster in that department. Tukamende, probably the best EM I've used in the game. For me, it was Rice and Partey, and then you have Rodri as well. But I think Rice and Tukamende for me are the best DMs I've used in this game. I would play them alongside each other if I could. Honestly, they're definitely like the best. They have everything. And again, when you look at his stats, it's crazy when you look at his stats, yeah, and you look at like, sorry, I don't know why I'm comparing him to Gramado, but if you compare him to like other DMs, but for me, when everything is green like that, it's absolutely perfect for a DM. But the main things you're looking at, interception, pace, passing, and he meets all those requirements. He's pretty much, and his age is probably the most mind blowing thing. Is like he's probably 25. I think I got him when he was 23. He was one of my first signings for sure. Best DM in the game, complete midfielder, pass, track back, has the whole pocket, can jump, header, the whole lot. Lukeba, with me now, I've noticed this is the one thing I definitely like about sports and football is that I'm trying to implement in the game is now I use centre backs as left back. So same way City, Pep uses Ake as a left back. Arteta's been doing with Kivior, and then you've had Klopp as well play Gomez and stuff as like a fullback. I was finding it really hard to find like a centre back that could play left back because if you do that, you also have to change their development process as well and change their position. It makes it easier for them to progress and it makes it easier for them to get used to playing in that position. So this guy initially started as a centre back, as you can see, that's his position. But I converted him as a left back, and honestly, he's perfect. At the start, he wasn't good, but the more games he played, it's so weird with FIFA. The more games he played, the better he got in that position. As you can see, he has all the stacks except for crossing, but I didn't use him for that. I used him more as like a defensive back, and then I had James as my more attacking output from the fullback. So if you want a good left back, but also a good left centre back, then Lukeba is definitely someone to get. Has a game face as well, which is even better. Botman, definitely someone. You got Schlotterbeck as well, who's another good left centre back, and Gabriel. And there's a few out there. And I think there's a guy from Ajax. I forgot his name, but I don't think he has a game face. But his potential goes to 87, so definitely have a look at him as well. Botman's definitely solid. 85 is the highest he goes to. So bear that in mind. If you want someone that's better, then you're gonna have to get him in. But he does the job perfectly alongside Saliba, who you lot will all know. I've used him in my Arsenal career mode. For me, in this game, the best centre back to use in this game. I can't think of. I might just be biased. I'm being biased potentially just because he plays for Arsenal and that's my team. But in terms of like his overall just everything. I can't fault it. Like he's a centre back. He has pace. He has passing. He has dribbling. Like look at his dribbling and ball control. Like that he has better ball control than Zubimendi, who's an absolute. He has better dribbling and ball control than Zubimendi. Literally, who's a central midfielder. As a central midfielder, you have to have the best ball control because that's where the ball is being received and distributed to, like and out. Do you know what I mean? It's the position where you require the most control of the game. You can dictate the game and gameplay or however you want as a central midfielder. So the fact that he has those kind of stats is just everything, man. I can't really say much about Saliba, man. Best centre back and probably be one of the best centre backs to ever play. But again, debate and discussion for another day. I know a lot of people think Kanai and other people out there, but for me, Saliba's proven it. Every day. James is good as well. I wouldn't say he was like what I thought he would be. Like his crossing's good, but it was weird. Every time I was playing with this game, no one like when I play teams, no one ever tried to like go towards the side of James. They were always targeting Lukeba, which is smart from the AI in the game. They know he's a weakness and stuff. But it's funny with James, like I didn't really have to do much with him. I only signed him my second season, but like he didn't really have to do much, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, James is good. If you want someone that can pinpoint crosses, then him and Arnold will probably be your go-to for sure. You have Frimpong. Yes, Frimpong is definitely part of the team. But I found when it came to like headering and jumpering and stuff like that, people would just catch him off guard and like he would miss headers and stuff, which is annoying. So I decided to get someone a bit more taller. 5'10 is good for me for a fullback. Donnarumma, as you lot probably know, world-class keeper. I had forgot the keeper I had before. He was also not too bad, but in FIFA, if you're playing on ultimate difficulty, which I play on, you need a world-class keeper. So for me, I definitely had to get him. If you want like young prospect keepers, then Manzunu's a good keeper. I would say, arguably, he's one of the best ball playing goalkeepers I've used. Like if you use him and you're trying to pass out the back, he's perfect. Like he has very good control. As you can see, his kicking is great, but his ball control is perfect. It's like it feels like you're using an outfield player. So if you want a ball playing goalkeeper, then and a young prospect, I think his rating goes up to 83. Then he's definitely your go-to. As for the bench, not really much. This guy already is part of the team, but he's initially on loan when you start the Leverkusen career mode. It was actually funny with him because I didn't use him for the year, and then I decided to recall him because I think I put him on a 2-year loan or I extended his loan or something like that. And then I brought him back, and honestly, he is like perfect. He's like a I don't know how to explain like a poacher. So just really wants to score. Really good striker, 22 as well. Hasn't got a game face, but if you want you can always just recall him and start using him straight away. He's probably gonna be bagging goals straight away. But except for that, there's no one else here that really stands out. Stanisic, I can't pronounce his name. I'm probably butchering it. He's also on loan as well when you get him, and he's probably I would say the most underrated player in this team, and I know that's stupid, but for his stats and the fact that like I played him as a left back, and every time he came on, he played well. He didn't have a single bad game where I feel like there were certain games like everyone in the team didn't do certain things, but I would say out of everyone, he didn't once have a bad game. So that's just a quick insight, guys, into my team. Sorry, guys, if I didn't really go into depth too much about, specifics and stuff. That's just a quick overall. I can quickly just show you the players that do have faces as well, just so you can quickly have a look at that as well. We'll start from the top. Wirtz has a face. Donnarumma, Saliba, Tukamende, Gramado does, James does, Botman doesn't. It might have changed now if you've updated the game potentially. Adeyemi does, Isaac does, Subamende, Gallagher, Basuma, Lekebedas, Wimar, Lasoso, Hosek, I think. I can't pronounce that name. I'm definitely butchering it. Curtis Jones is another player that's also good in the game as well. Gomez. These are all like squad players as well. His contract's expiring soon. Mudrik's not too bad. When I first signed him, he was really good, and it's weird. Ever since he's gotten to an 80, he's not that good. But again, that's what I was talking about, raising the level. Maybe it's other players around him are better, and you start to notice other players. This guy's a really good gem. He hasn't got a face, but if you want a young, prolific striker that you can get on loan from Chelsea, he's perfect. Ended up buying this Francis guy. Can't pronounce his name, but he's also good. Bravo, you also have as well. I think he starts off at loan from Madrid. And then yeah, guys, that's the team I have there, guys. Really good team. Let me know what you lot think. As you lot are probably seeing, Leverkusen are definitely having an amazing season. I think they're unbeaten. They have like 10 games to go and they're like 10 points clear, something similar. Pretty much what Arsenal were like last season. Funny enough, they have Shaka as well. So as you lot can see, we won Champions League. I won all the trophies I competed in. The team, honestly, if you start off with the team as a starter, the team's already perfect. Like you don't have to change much. It's just dependent on your style of play, who you like. They had Topsuba, I can't pronounce his name, but they really like the team at the start is already perfect. You don't need to change much unless like they have Shaka as well. I used Shaka for like a season and then I sold him. So there were players I kept for a while because usually now when I do a season, I tend to close the transfer, keep the transfer window closed, and then open it in Jan just to keep it a bit more realistic and more challenging. And that way, players aren't leaving straight away. Every team kind of keeps the players they have, and then you kind of get a realistic outlook of the current teams corresponding with how it is in real life. But yeah, guys, let me know what you lot think anyway. I hope you lot enjoyed that. If you don't want me to give you an insight into young players to use in terms of players with good potential, players that start off very low ranked and go up to like a 90, I can do that. If you want me to do an insight of players with faces and young prospect players, I can do all those kind of things there. But let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, show some love and support, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Take it easy and peace.